name is Aram Ashkaryan, and I'll be presenting to you a quote by William Saroyan found in the Armenian and the Armenian. So William Saroyan was an Armenian American writer who was born in 1908 in Fresno, California. He was his greatest inspiration was his father, because his father was also a writer, and when he read his father's pieces, he knew he wanted to pursue in his father's footsteps. And most of his pieces were about the Great Depression because it was what he could relate to the most because of his poverty and hunger. He, around this time, there was the Armenian Depression going on in Armenia around 1915, and it was when the Turks wanted to exterminate the Armenians off the face of the earth, and they killed 1.5 million Armenians, and they caused many of the survivors to leave Armenia, and they settled all over the world. A while after Saroyan's success, he started to spend his money on traveling, and he started to spend his money on traveling. And but prior to his last trip to Europe, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which ended up taking his life in 1981. He impacted the way people interpreted the Great Depression, and he's remembered as the writer who inspired many youth writers, and the man who wrote the Human Comedy, which some of you may have read as your summer homework in 9th grade. And he is also remembered as the writer of his most popular quote from the Armenian and the Armenian. This is the quote, and the quote is inspired by the Armenian genocide, and it shows the survival of Armenians. He uses examples of you can take any Armenian to anywhere in the world, like a desert, and they will still create a new Armenia. And he also says that you can't destroy Armenia because Armenians are so powerful. And he says that whenever one encounters an Armenian, whenever Armenian and Armenian encounters each other, they are going to create a new Armenia, because they don't treat each other as strangers, but they treat each other as a brother or sister. And I can relate to this because sometimes whenever I'm out in public and I notice there's an Armenian, I want to socialize with them, and I want to get to know them better. So critic Gerald Haslam from Simona State University claims that Saroyan is one of the greatest Armenian American writers in the world, and that seems like a bold point, but many critics seem to agree with him, such as Bob Sector of LA Times, who says that he is a great writer and that he deserves every one of his awards. Right now, the piece Inhale and Exhale sells for about $1,000 when it's signed, and it sells for $100 used.
And to continue, William Saroyan has changed many of the perspectives of the poets that live today and that lived throughout the time. Many poets now believe that the Armenians are doing well as writers, and they're becoming more understanding of the English literature. Hence the reason that the Human Comedy has become such a prevalent article and novel throughout the use of teaching English. William Saroyan's works have changed so many different aspects of the writing world, and with this specific piece, which is technically a quote or poem, he writes in a very assertive and informative tone, and please for the audience, because he is telling the audience precisely that Armenians will never go down. They will not be pushed away. They will not be ignored. They will not be swept off. They are here, and they are here to stay. He is very angry in this quote, or poem. You could tell because of the phrasing he uses. Many words throughout the quote are angry, yet he's not only angry, but he's also confident in what he's saying. He's reassuring the audience that we will for sure come back, and we are going to come back stronger, not just come back. He just, besides that, he summarizes the history of Armenia. He summarizes like the things Armenians have suffered through. He says it all in that just small little quote. He says that, oh, you could kill us. You could just one and one meet together. That's it. That's what creates New Armenia. And in that sense, that's similar to the Armenian diaspora, which is coming from the Turkish killing us during the genocide, the Armenians, and the Armenians fleeing to the different corners of the world. And whenever one meets another, they actually not only perspire, but they they create a new Armenia, which is, well, for example, Glendale. Like you could consider Glendale as a new Armenia, or Fresno, or the different hubs of Armenian culture. William Saroyan does this in a beautiful way throughout this quote that I have chosen, called "The Armenian and the Armenian." Thank you.